be victorious. Why? Very simply because if people must choose, they will always choose freedom and liberty, just like Dr. Paul said. They will always choose it. Whenever I do begin to become discouraged, I think of a story I heard concerning President Obama. I want to share that story with you. The story goes that before his inauguration, he decided to make one last trip, and while on the plane, he ended up sitting next to a young 11-year-old girl. He turned to her and he said, "Let's talk. I've heard that flights go quicker if you strike up a conversation with your fellow passenger." The little girl who had just opened her book closed it slowly and said to President-elect Obama, "Well, what would you like to talk about?" "Oh, I don't know," said Obama. "How about what changes should I make to America?" And then he smiled with his big old grin. "Okay," she said, "that could be an interesting subject. But please let me ask you a question first. A horse, a cow, and a deer all eat the same stuff, grass. Yet the deer excretes little pellets, a cow turns out a flat patty, and a horse produces clumps of dry grass. Why do you suppose that is?" Obama, visibly surprised by the little girl's intelligence, thinks about it for a second, finally says, "I don't know." To which the little girl replies, "Do you really feel qualified to change America when you don't know crap?" Oh, how true, how true. Political parties and special interests have understood the strategy of local control for a long time. It is time we implement the same strategy. And in the last few minutes, let me move on to the last topic of interest, political parties. The political structure of this country is designed to thwart any opposition from individual citizens. How many of you have read The 5,000-Year Lead by Dr. Clausen? Well, he also wrote another book called The Naked Capitalist, which is a tremendous book. And in the book, on page 56, he states, "The tragedy in all of this is the simple fact that the average taxpaying American was not given an honest and genuine choice. The voter finds himself enduring one party long enough to witness a whole series of travesties and then switches to the other party, thinking he will get a substantial reversal of policy. But he doesn't. At best, all he gets is a slowing down in the collectivization process, and in some areas, it becomes even worse than it was before. My fellow patriots, real change only happens when different people are instrumental in fixing those problems. Let us no longer continue down the same path, expecting different results, for that would be insanity." Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you. May God bless you and your efforts in this upcoming election cycle. At this time, I'd like to introduce to you Sheriff Richard Mack.